Wow. We own, bro. It's amazing. What's up, family? And let me tell
Yeah.
you how so unprepared I am with that when that intro came on. I was like, what I need to be doing again? Bro, we're rusty. But how you
Yo,
doing, man?
man, yeah, rusty is not the word. It's just like I was like, oh, I was sharing like, oh, what hey, wait a minute, what's the so yeah. No, man, I'm excited to be back, man. That's first and foremost. I'm excited to be back. There's been a lot of life changes and a lot of transitions. It's cold now. Um, but overall, bro, I'm blessed, man. I really am blessed. I just wake up every day and am thankful for the blessings that I do have instead of thinking about the blessings that I want to have. So
Ooh,
yeah, bro, blessed is probably the most brief and biggest word I can say is blessed. What about you?
man, the same. We've been away for so long, but at the same time, it's been awesome to the fact that we haven't just been away not doing anything. We've been away
Yep.
literally busy doing a lot of great things and like doing some partnerships. And for those, if this is your first time, Love is a Parable is a nonprofit organization that I founded in 2017. But Cordell is not only my best friend, but a founding member. And we started this value-based education nonprofit to promote one value-based education, but also to help incite storytelling, but also personal acceptance and show people and individuals and organizations how values shape the way that we see ourselves, others, and the decisions that they make. Some
Yeah.
of us have dubbed us as the conflict navigators. Um, some have dubbed us as the leadership whisperer. But all of those things, we just work in spaces to help organizations and individuals to thrive and show them that a lot of times values is the root of that motivation sometimes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, bro, we got a guest on, and I'm going to tell you now, and this is not a short joke, so don't roll your eyes at me. Your chin, you can't, you got to lean, you got to sit back because if you sit forward, your name cuts you off. And
All right, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna scoot back. Scoot back.
there we go. Because look, I'm not gonna let StreamYard sun you. You too good for that.
All right,
But
okay,
bro,
bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
as coming back as brothers, you know that I'm extremely excited about our guest. I know
Mhm.
you had a chance to speak with him backstage, but I've known this person for over 2 years, and I've been completely impressed by him, and so I'm excited about bringing him on. Now, are you excited about bringing this guy on?
Bro, I'm excited about just this whole night period, bro. Being back, having guests, talking to the people, talking to you. I'm excited, period. So I'm with it, man.
I'm with it. Well, let's go ahead and bring him on. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. What's going on, Ron
What's up,
Taylor?
brother?
Hey, Jay and Cordell, how are you two doing tonight?
Man.
Doing amazing.
Yeah, amazing, bro.
So,
I
Ron,
love it. I love
this is
it.
a great opportunity for us to tell the people about him. Like, just tell them who you are, who you is, who you be.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, my name's Ronald Taylor. I'm from the amazing city of Pittsburgh, PA. Born and raised on the playground, I think is where I spent most of my days.
Chilling
But
out, relaxing, chilling out, relaxing, cooling off school.
you know it. But yeah, man, a lot of people probably know me though. I would say in the city of Pittsburgh by my nickname. Jay, I know you know me by my nickname. So my nickname is Spoon. Just
Okay.
to kind of let you all know why they call me Spoon, in case if you see it on some of my social media. I used to have a skinny body and a really big head, and now I just have a really big head and a big body. So instead of being like
Yo,
a spoon, I'm more like an air fryer these days, is what I say, right? So yeah, but feel free, call me Spoon instead of Ron, because if you call me Ron or Ronald, it takes me a second to realize you're actually talking to me. So I'm completely fine with Spoon.
Look, see, and I never had a skinny phase in my life, so I don't know what that is like to transition. See, I'm the one at class reunions and stuff like that that look amazing because I didn't change. You know, it's the other people that be over there looking kind of like, So
man.
They be like, "You look great." I be like, mm.
You're the only person with the nickname Spoon that I've ever heard of, Ron. So you know what?
You know what? It's what I say is people can't forget. If you meet someone named Spoon, it is very rare that you'll forget that name. But if I introduce myself as Ronald or Ron, you're like 5 minutes later, what was that guy's name? So, it's so weird. I would have never thought growing up that a name that I got as a teenager would still stick with me in the workplace, even, so that part is kind of interesting when you see, CEOs and people like that calling you Spoon. You sometimes, kind of laugh in the back of your head to think that that's even a reality. But I guess it makes me, memorable, which I'll take.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You don't forget Spoon.
Look, and the other thing is, and this is what I like now, your handle. And it's funny because I use Spoon to find to find you. So that spoke to my heart, and I tell you why. You want to tell her what your handle is?
Oh man, so it's funny. I change my name a lot, or I used to. So whenever I first started on social media, my name back in the day, back when I was in college, it used to actually be Two Spoons, 2 Chains. It was 2 Spoons, right? So that was, my thing. But what I was known for is changing my name to be around my nickname based on things going on in pop culture. So one day on Twitter, I might be 2 Spoons. One day I might be Spoon Baron James. You just never know, right? Spoon Saint Bolt. It was crazy. But my name now, I think just on Instagram, it's just Ronald Taylor Jr. It's super basic.
Not on that Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook, it's probably, what is it on Facebook? I don't even know. Is it 2 Spoons? What is it?
Nope. It's Spoonie Love. It's Spoonie Love, baby.
Sorry about that. So hold on. I have a story about that. I totally forgot that that's what it is. That's hilarious. So back when I was in college, I actually used to have a podcast. The name of the podcast was called Spoonie Talk. So what we used to do is kind of similar to this setup. We would just kind of bring people in from around campus, and we would just talk about things going on just in day-to-day pop culture, campus life, politics. It was everything. It was crazy, but it was just so funny that it's still Spoonie Love because I had no idea that that's what it was. So that's kind of funny.
I'm here for it because my handle is Mr. Love Advocate. And I was like, go ahead, Spoonie Love, which is another reason why your name of your organization that you founded really resonated with me just on cap because it represented 2 things that I really do love: being Black and love. So, I do want to go ahead and jump into some of the questions just so we can, because I feel like what's going to happen is if I don't jump into the questions, I'm going to ask you stuff and it's going to be the question. And before we jump right on into it, we got Anthony Kane in the house.
What's up, Anthony, bro?
That's my bro right there. That's Dr. Kane. We call him Dr. Kane now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dr. Kane.
Dr. Kane, what's going on? And we got Iconic. My brother Ahmed is in the house. Go ahead. What's going on, brother? Look, and we got Pastor Jessica Brown. Oh, the Browns is representing.
Hey, Jessica, what's happening?
Pastor Jessica Brown. And then she said, now, Jay, did you just say in cap?
I love it.
Okay, so we got. So I take it is Anthony in Pittsburgh.
He is, yeah. Me and Anthony actually we've been friends since middle school. We went to the same middle school, didn't go to the same high school, but we went to the same college, and we've been pretty much almost best friends with my other close group of best friends pretty much since then. So it's an amazing support system I got around me. So that's my bro right there.
That's good. Well, he's up in Pittsburgh. We got Jessica. She's out there in Vegas. And we got some other people viewing. So if you're viewing, go ahead and chime in. Tell us where you are, where you from, and all of that good stuff. So now we're going to get into the first question. Boy, it's been so long since I've been using this stuff. I feel like a novice. I'm like, when did we get this? First of all, for those who are new, if you want to learn about us, go to loveisaparable.com. If you want to learn about Ron and his organization, go to blackburglove.com. And the words of the day is fleek And booyah!
And now, words of the day is new. That's something we brought out for y'all. It's new.
We had that before, bro. It's just been since January. You remember Fleek? Fleek was my word. Now, I know you. Fleek?
Well,
How did you forget Fleek?
No, I didn't forget Fleek. I'm just saying us having a word of the day at the bottom on the ticker, like that's, you know what I mean?
Since January.
Oh,
since January. That is just what happened. See, it's been so long, even you forgot.
I did.
But now we're going to change that. Booyah! First question. Can you share more about your inspiration behind Burgh Love and what motivated you to start this initiative focusing on the underrepresentation of Black love in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I love this question. So something I always tell people when they ask me, hey, you know, this exact question, hey, what was your kind of inspiration behind what you do every single day? And I told them pretty much my inspiration came from what's now our mission statement at Burgh Love. So our mission statement is that our mission is to highlight positive Black relationships in the city of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So the reason why we say this is because I recently got married myself to my amazing wife, Dominique. And that was probably now almost about 2 years ago. And what we found throughout the actual wedding planning process is that there wasn't, number one, a lot of, representation out there for Black couples that was positive in our city. So it was something that we felt that it was either misrepresented or not represented at all. And we're advocates in everything that we do in life that representation matters. If you don't see people that look like you, do the careers that you inspired and want to go into one day, whatever the case might be, you're going to naturally start to put yourself into a position where you think that you can never evolve to get to that position yourself, and you start to feel defeated, right? So I came to my wife one day after, kind of just meeting with, actually, oddly enough, Anthony, who was in the chat, and a group of my other friends at my friend's TJ house, where we were just having an open discussion about, some other vendors in Pittsburgh that highlight love. And one thing that we noticed is that in those actual social media realms, there was very few Black couples that you would see. So I'm sitting here thinking about my group of friends or people that I know that are just maybe acquaintances. And I was like, why is it that all of these people that I know about who are in a positive relationship or have had a positive relationship when it comes to Black love, that we don't have a central hub location to celebrate that, right? So what I actually did to kind of, I guess, get the ball moving with, some of the things that motivated my initiative to kind of highlight these couples is I almost took one thing that I say is almost out of a playbook of a Netflix series. So I don't know if you all have seen Bridgerton or not, but so Lady Whistledown, how she kind of did like the whole mystery, like she didn't want to reveal who she was, but she shared all this info. So when I first started the page, I didn't even tell people it was me. I literally created a page. And when I created the page, I actually reached out to one of my very close friends at the time, and I never even told him it was me. I was like, hey, I run this page called Burgh Love, and I think that you have an amazing relationship that I want to highlight. Is it okay if you send us over some pictures and a little bit more about your love story? And I'll be honest, even though my friend didn't know it was me, he was super sketchy on whether or not if he should do it. He was like, dude, who are you? Like, what is this? Like, you don't even have but 10 followers. Like, why would I send you a picture? I'm like, come on, just send me it. I think it'll be cool just to kind of get this, ball rolling. So somehow, some way, he ended up sending me pictures of, him and his significant other. And I posted it on Instagram. And from there, it just kind of took off. We're at a point now where we're, I'm sure talk about some of the initiatives that we just do with Burgh Love. But really from that moment, people just came out in our city and say, what you're doing is impactful. And we love it. How can we get involved and how can we learn more about what you do?
That's amazing, bro.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thinking about is, isn't it amazing how your friends will just follow you blindlessly to do something? Because that's what happened with this organization. I didn't even know Cordell. At least you had history with Anthony. I ain't had no history with Cordell. I'm like, I'm going to start a nonprofit. He'd be like, okay. And this fool's been with me ever since.
That's pretty much. I was like, man, I was looking for my way to do more with the community anyway. So I was like, oh, this is this is right up my alley. Yeah, let's do it.
Look, ain't even have the mission statement written, and he up there just trusting, just open and trusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it speaks a lot about you, Jay, if he trusts you, right?
He didn't know me. No, it speaks a lot about his judgment. I question his judgment to this day. Jessica said, I'm actually in Wakanda, but
hey, I know that's right.
Hey, that's a plane ticket. I want to be there too.
Oh, see, here he go. Here he go.
You know what?
We don't understand your Egyptian. Okay. So thank you for that. So how important in the establishing of Black Love was friendship? Because you talked about how you talked with a friend and then you sent it out to other friends. How do you think your friendships really helped support you in like furthering Black Burgh Love?
Oh, it's been literally everything. We still to this day call all of our people on our social media, sites or who follow us, directly through our website. We call them our family. Like, we don't even call them our followers. We say you're part of the Black Burgh Love family. So I love when I seen a lot of your promotions, for today when it said, "What up, family?" I was like, wow, that just like perfectly aligns, right? So when it comes to friends, though, I've always been a person where in my personal life, anyone who knows me, comes across me, interacts with me, they probably feel like some sense of family once they probably interact with me, because I feel like that's important. But when it comes to my friends, when they did find out it was me, because I eventually had to reveal who was posting all of these couples, people were shocked. And I had so many of my friends reach out and say, I love what you're doing, because number one, it's not often that we see a Black male talk about Black love. I think there's a lot of negative connotations out there, because of what we just kind of see or what we don't speak about. I think sometimes as Black males, where they don't think we are supporting of Black love because of some of the things that just happen day in and day out in the public's eyes. So it was important to me, number one, to give a positive representation of a Black male who supported Black love, but also my friends that supported me. They were, those people who were true advocates for just me as a person. I think they knew me. They knew the type of character that I have, and they knew that with this initiative, it wouldn't be something that I would take lightly. And I don't. I feel like now we're at a point with us really establishing our brand where it's a goal of mine to be able each year to be able to focus on more love stories and even, doing more initiatives where we can give back and pay it forward and hopefully give someone else that ability to see that not just in Pittsburgh, but hopefully if you're in North Carolina, if you're in Wakanda, wherever you're at on fleek, right? You should be able to find some Black love, right? That can really give you, that ability to build a family that can also see that and continue that tradition and build legacy. So that part's so important to me.
And when you think about it, I remember like when we were pushing Love is a Parable, a lot of my speaking engagements first came, which is interesting that you made that statement about how it's not a lot of Blacks who are pushing certain things. Because I was a Black male and pushing love, that's how I really got my first speaking engagements and all of that. And interesting enough, because you said a story about how your friend was kind of skeptical at first. I think the Black community was that way with us at first, like, y'all too lovey-dovey over there. And so it was the non-Black community that embraced it first.
Yeah.
And kind of like, and it kind of like in the distance, you felt our brothers and sisters like give us that nod, like, okay, you cool, which spawned into our brother empowerment, which ended up being our first community event. So it's amazing how people respond to love because they didn't even know it was a void. So I want to tell you, man, thank you so much for what you're doing in the Pittsburgh area. And there are a couple of people that are viewing that I already kind of told you about. So if you get random friend requests or stuff like that, I kind of set them.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
It does happen.
So Cordell, you want to hit the second question? Here you go.
Ronald, or I'm a Spoon, having grown up in the Lincoln area of Pittsburgh, how do your personal experiences and the examples of Black love you witness shape the mission and goals of Black Burgh Love?
Yeah, I love this question. So, my story about, the examples of love that I have in my personal life are something that I think sadly for most, people my age sometimes can be an anomaly. And the reason why I say that is because I grew up in a very traditional household where my mom and dad have been together my entire life. Like even to this day, I think they're at right now, like, I don't know, they're in the 50-year range, I think, of being married to each
Wow.
other, I want to say, or somewhere close to that, right?
Mhm.
So
Kudos to
they've
Mama
been,
and Daddy Taylor.
yeah, right. So they
Yeah.
were high school sweethearts, right? Oddly enough, they were high school sweethearts, but it wasn't just them, right? That I had, as positive examples. I had my grandparents where both of my grandparents had these amazing, Black relationships to where they also had been together, for 40, 50, 60 plus years, with, their marriages. So naturally seeing that as a kid who was, 4, 5, right? I always knew no matter what, at the end of the day, I had a great representation of love, right? And that's not something everyone gets an opportunity to see. I'm even blessed right now with an amazing opportunity where when I went to school and I first came back to Pittsburgh, I moved into an area where I was, pretty far away from my family. It was drivable, but it was, pretty good distance. Now, a few years ago, I actually had a chance to move right next door to my parents. So my parents actually have a chance now to where I get to see them every day. So I'll go over sometimes during work, just check out what they're doing, or we'll just sometimes grab dinner, or she'll watch my sons, right? Or take them places, right? So just still getting that opportunity now as a male who's 36, it's still so impactful for me because it lets me know that love is something where I think sometimes we talk about it and we talk about it about falling in love with someone. And I actually heard one of my pastors say not too long ago that you don't fall in love, you grow in love, right? So it's something where initial attraction, of course, builds, right, due to the examples or due to the things that you may be attracted to. But really, when it comes to love, it's such a process, right? And that's something I witnessed from, not just my grandparents and my parents, but also people like my sister who have a great relationship that I get a chance to see. And also my stepsister, 2 of my stepsisters, where they have great Black, relationships that I get a chance to see and witness. So I try to take things from them and also implement what I can also do in my relationship to really set that example. Because, I want to be a living testimony. I don't want to be just one of those, individuals where I don't practice what I preach, right? I want to be able to show other people that, hey, I'm strategically doing these things to try to make my wife happy, but also highlight other people, who are in positive relationships that we can celebrate together.
I love that. Look, comments. Jessica says she prayed for you daily, Cordell.
I appreciate it. I do.
And look, and Spoon, like, I love that. He loves that for you. My sister-in-law is on.
Bianca.
Hey, Bianca. She said goals. We're working on. She married to my little brother for 7 years.
There we go.
7 years together. 6
That's
years married. Look, it's a quasi Black love. It's a Blaxican love she got going on because my sister-in-law is Mexican. And she said we're the lucky ones. My parents were together 43 years until her daddy passed.
Yes.
Yeah, her dad was a dope man. And then Jessica says she agreed with you 1,000%. And she said, yes, grow in love, my sister-in-law said. And then Ahmed said, agreed. People look for the immediate love and it doesn't exist. You got to work on building it.
Yeah, can I talk to that real quick too? Because I love Ahmed said that, right? I don't know if you've seen going around social media, like there was a video that went viral about the girl that went out on the date with the guy and she didn't want to get out because they were at the
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll say one thing, Spoon, even though a lot, I would say the majority, I would say 9 out of 10 of these, these viral conversations are fake skits. I will say though, Yeah, I will say that they do bring about and highlight certain mentalities that people have about romantic relationships and dating and love and all that kind of stuff. But go ahead.
Yes, 1,000%. And I tell my wife all the time when they are fake, and she's like, "No, they're not. It's real." I'm like, "This is fake. I used to act. They're clearly acting." But I digress. But the reason why I bring it up based on Ahmed's comment is because me and my wife and a lot of my friends, we just have conversations when we see those things. We'll share it in our group chats, like, "Yo, did you see this? This is what do you think about this?" Right? So me and my wife were having a conversation the other day, and something I tell people is how I actually got to be so close with my wife is that we never really worried about materialistic things. Like, I get that when it comes to going out to restaurants, you should always want to go to a place that you feel is a good fit for what you want, right? And I'll never tell people not to go to certain places or to go to certain places, because I'm a guy where I'll be honest with you, it's very rare that you'll see me at a chain restaurant, right? When it comes to those things. But I also know that when it comes to meeting people, that should be the last thing that I'm focused on. Because you could take me to a 5-star restaurant and still be a crappy person right at the end of the day, right? So I much rather get to know you in a hole in the wall and it be the most genuine one-on-one sit-down conversation where I even forget where we're at, right? I'm really just focused in on getting to know you. And I think sometimes, and I don't know if you all follow Mike Todd at all, but he talks a lot about.
Yes, you do. You just don't know it's him. The pastor that spit in that boy face. I mean, we're struggling to forgive him, but we share his videos. Even a man shares some of his videos. He spit in the person's face. We look past that, but go ahead.
Yeah, he did. That was crazy. We forgive him for that. But he talks a lot about ripping up your list. And I do feel like because of society right now, there's so many people we have that I know personally from growing up with them, or I might be, some type of relationship that I have with them as friends. And they say, "Hey, I want to find Black love. I want to be featured on your page. Can you hook me up with someone?" I'm like, yeah, like that's a part of what we are eventually planning to do with our organization. But then they come to us with this long laundry list of things they need to fall in love. And I'm like sitting there realizing like, this is the reason why you probably are blocking your own blessing. So I tell all of my friends, the reason why me and my wife have the relationship that we do is because we don't block our blessing. We literally make the most out of every single day by just being each other's best friends and continue to grow in love. So I just had to say that based on Ahmed's comment, because I see it all the time in social media, and I don't want people to get wrapped up in that instant gratification. We just live in a world with that where we can get anything we want instantly, and I don't think love works that way. So
that's speaking of lists, my mom and my dad have been married for, I don't know, something like 30 years, something like that. My mom told me years ago, speaking on the list portion, she was like, anyways, to your point, Spoon, when it comes to a list, my mom was like, people have this list and they might have 10 or 20 things on it. My mom was like, you can have a list of 10 things. She was like, you might get 4. Yeah. The rest of them you got to work with. And so you got to figure out what's the most important to you. And it's crazy because I was engaged before, but I'm not anymore. And in our sessions, our premarital counselor even said, if everything is important, then nothing is important.
Oh, that's good.
And that has stuck with me since. That was like our second or third session that she said that. And that has, that has stuck with me, because it's like, what are the things that you can live with? What are things you can't live without? Like, what's the most important thing? Outside of that, the rest is kind of, but again, I digress. But yeah, that list thing, it triggered that conversation. But yeah, man, for sure. Yeah.
Got a couple of comments. I prefer walk in love, being of sound mind, willfully and voluntarily. Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because we typically say you walk in love,
right?
Because love is something you uncover, not discover. But so I definitely same sentiment in most. Then we got Chase on.
What's up,
Chase? Coming up on 8 years.
That's my brother too. What's up, Chase?
Is that another Pittsburgh love?
That's my bro right there too.
Oh, BBL. I just thought about that. I'll come back to it because my brain.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, sister-in-law. She said, yes, I'm Mexican, but still brown. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, sister. I love you so much, my sister-in-law. And then it said, as for me and my house, we enjoy brown bread. And she said,
That's my
yes.
auntie right there. That's my auntie. What's up, auntie?
Hey, auntie. Now,
Hey,
look,
auntie.
look, I want you to know we get sidetracked quick. Now, where them Pollards from? Where's her Pollards from?
Hey, you know what? We're all based in here in Pittsburgh. There's the Hills, there's the Howes, there's the Pollards, there's the Taylors. My family's huge, man. It's a pretty big family. So
yeah, my family.
a lot of our family grew up in Alabama. So like my grandparents were from like Alabama, and then they migrated to Pittsburgh, when everyone was trying to find, up north, new opportunities. So my granddad actually worked in the steel mills up here for a very long time. And then my other granddad, he was in the armed services. So, big family. We're all over. So
yeah.
Oh, my family is humongous. Like, I'm related to all of Georgia. No, like the whole state is off limits for me. My mom is 20 out of 21. My dad is 1 of 6. My grandmama was like 1 of 12. So it's like huge. And so we got Pollards, and the slave owners were, of course, last name Pollards. And so there's an area called Pollard's Corner where my Pollards siblings come from. That's in Augusta, outside of Augusta. Gotcha. That's why I asked. You probably related to us somewhere.
Might be. Never know.
They just dropped, and you talking about Alabama too. They just dropped that boat off there and then kept moving.
I was gonna say almost everybody has some southern roots somewhere.
Yeah.
So man said the same when you was talking about being broke. He said me and my wifey were broke when we got married, but it's through all that we actually grew to love each other. The struggle made us closer. Look at him trying to promote struggle love. Oh, he said he stopped following Mike.
I knew it was coming.
Okay. You have to heal so you don't bleed on the other. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was just gonna stop by. She ended up dropping some gems.
Mm-hmm.
Come stare in my eyes at the Waffle House girl.
What's up, Wayne?
That's Wayne. Oh goodness. Technically, he wiped spit from his brother's face. That changes nothing though.
Ew. Ew.
She said, I need understanding. Just hear me out. Hear you out about what? Hold on. Okay. Listen, my ex-husband checked all my boxes. Then I went to therapy and found out my list was stupid and I prioritized the wrong stuff.
Well, hey, at least you got that handled, man.
2 snaps, love you, but I love you too. And he's from Pittsburgh for real. I see this based off of how he said Pittsburgh.
The accents will tell on you.
Sure. Oh, at first I was like, "Where are you from, Spoon?" Because I was like, "Where are you from?" He was like, "Pittsburgh." I'm like, "They talk like that up there." It's given south of the Mason-Dixon line.
That's that Pittsburgh Ease is what we call it.
Oh, well, it's given south of the Mason-Dixon line. That's what it's given. He said 21. Who? Talking about I was out there today. Okay. 21. Get off that lady. Hit me out about life and boundaries. Got it. Oh, goodness. Whew. Okay, Spoon, that was a good one. Ready for the next question?
I'm ready.
Okay. You said what, bro?
No, I said, is he ready?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Can you share a specific success story or impactful moment that Burgh Love has experienced where you felt the initiative made a significant difference?
Yeah, I love this one too. So there's actually a couple ones. I'll try to be brief so I can share a few different ones that were pretty impactful. Actually, today we released a video called Burgh Kings. So Burgh Kings is an initiative that I came up with. initially by seeing, I don't know if you all have ever seen like the Black men's flash mobs that they do, where like a lot of the men's, they'll come together, they'll celebrate brotherhood, they'll dress up in suits. Have y'all ever seen like those viral videos at all?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we wanted to replicate that here with Black Burgh Love. So what we decided to do was a lot of the couples that we had highlighted through our pages, we decided to reach out to a few of those kings, but then also just my network. I started to reach out to people that I knew or people that just across all of Pittsburgh were doing positive things that I feel like should be represented and highlighted for what they just have, that they do every single day that impacts the community. So we actually started 2 initiatives called Black Burgh Kings and Black Burgh Queens that really kind of just highlight, all of those kings in the city of Pittsburgh that are doing things positive, but also for our Black Burgh Queens, we did the same thing where we had over, I believe it was, there we go. We had over, I think it was like around like 50, 60 Black women that we had a chance to celebrate with our Black Burgh Queens, and with the Black Burgh Kings, we've had well over 50 Black Burgh Kings that we've had an opportunity to be able to celebrate and come together and celebrate, unity. So that's been so impactful for me because at those events, you'll see it here in the video, right? At those events, the 2 little boys you'll see there in the video clip, it was just so great because their parents came up to me afterwards and they said things like, hey, like having my sons in this environment where they can have Black males that are doctors, that are teachers, that are cops, that are CEOs, it just gives them so much hope to be able to walk in your shoes, or even more importantly, be able to thrive and do other things where he can pay it forward like you all are doing. So you'll see in this video, there's just so many different, kings that have a chance now to give, back and actually, us to celebrate what they're doing. So that's something that's, so impactful for us when it comes to what we do with both of those initiatives. But the other thing that's really cool that you would see if you go to our website is we did a series called Look at Love. It was something we did at the start of last year. And with Look at Love, it was our first web series. What we wanted to do was highlight Black love stories in the city of Pittsburgh. So we actually had about 4 or 5 different couples where we brought in a videographer, photographer, and we had them just be very candid and raw and share their love stories. So if you go onto our website, just like you're seeing here on the screen, you'll get a chance to learn about those, couples and, just hear how sometimes I think we forget that many of the trials and tribulations that we go through in our own marriages or relationships, there's other people going through those same things that maybe hearing someone else's testimony, you'll have that opportunity to be able to learn and grow and maybe, help, what it is that you're looking for day in and day out when it comes to that next step in your marriage or relationship. So just those types of things I think have been so impactful for us because as a result of doing a lot of these different initiatives, we've had organizations reach out to us, and offer to do giveaways where we've given away things for around like Christmas time last year. We gave away through one of a jewelry named Henny Jewelry. They reached out to us and just gave someone $250 to come spend for free. They said, hey, we just love what you're doing. We just want to give back and give someone else that opportunity. So just those little things coming from those types of movements have been so impactful for us and what we want to do and want to, continue to share with Black love.
That's beyond dope, bro.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And shout out to your wife for this amazing website.
Yes, indeed. The Rebrand Lab. That's what she is on social media. The Rebrand Lab. If you need web design, rebranding, she does all of our things on our website. So if you're looking for a website, hit her up. She's amazing.
Okay. She's amazing.
Yeah. I love the way all that was put together, bro. For sure.
I appreciate it.
Unshameless plug. Right. Now, I will say this too, just because I want to clarify this, and this is not what I felt like was coming out wrong or anything. I think that we live in a hypersensitive society where it's so easy to misconstrue certain initiatives. And so when I thought about Black Burgh Love, I looked at it as Blacks do love. And the reason why that's important is because somebody who's not Black may look at it and say, well, why we aren't promoting all? And it's because we see that representation. We know that you are loving on one another, and that is commonly known. Like if you look at any of our love stories, any of the novels, any of the movies, there is constant representation. So this is like saying Black people love too.
Yeah.
And they love just as deeply, just as passionately, just as intensely, and just as intentional as other groups that have always been represented. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when we're having conversations of inclusivity, that also means knowledge that you may not be privy to. And a lot of times you're not privy to the Black narrative in a lot of areas and what that looks and feels like. But the non-Black narrative is often exposed and dissected in such a way that is so granular that it becomes inherent in our culture. And so it's great and refreshing to show a different lens and a different perspective, to show that all demographics love too, especially Blacks.
Yeah. And it's crazy you say that Jay, because I think initially some people, when they came to our page, you're right, they seen Burgh Love and thought, oh, this is only for Black people. Right. I think sometimes they were just taken aback because of the name. But I think what they started to realize, and what we, showcase and everything that we promote, is that we're all about, yes, highlighting Black love, but we also want people, like you said, who support Black love and need to know that it is realistically a thing, for other people to have that representation, that we want you to feel a part of the family too. So if you actually even go to our website, you'll see there's a portion built into our website where we have vendors that are all different colors, all different backgrounds. And those vendors might be hairstylists or photographers, or we have one that's a seamstress, Topaz Thimble. She's amazing, right? And a lot of them may not be Black, but they support Black love just as strongly as anyone else that is Black that's one of our members of our family, right? So that part is so important to me, to have them support, like you said, what we're truly trying to showcase day in and day out, because I didn't know if they would, to be honest, right? So people like Topaz, people like Angela Pro Designs, people like just so many people you'll see on our website, they just support Black love, and it means so much to us.
Awesome. And one thing that I found out that was interesting, first of all, Ahmed said he had to go. We love you too.
Love you too, bro.
And Jessica said your website is so cool, and the initiative is so
thank
cool.
You.
And I also went on and put the information if they wanted to connect with your wife.
Hey, there
so
you
go.
go.
Ahead and put that in there.
The real MVP.
Exactly. Look, exactly. Because that was really nice. You about to say something, Cordell? No,
bro.
Okay. I just feel like it's just amazing but that is how it is. Like when we start having conversations about diversity, you don't realize how many people are longing to see it as well. And yes, there is the counter where they don't want to see it and they don't want all of those things. But for the sake of this show, we're going to highlight the ones who did. She said, I said the event was cool. The website is cool. Finna block her. But
hey, I still appreciate it, Jessica, for both.
Right. Look, backhanded comment. Your website, all right. The event was better. So it's not that we feel it's just a lot of people that support. My older brother started an organization. Well, he's got a clothing line that's called Black on Black. And what he did was take a lot of Black terminology that could have been perceived negatively and made it positive. And a lot of his support comes from the non-Black community.
Yeah.
When we talk about Love is a Parable, a lot of our donations and financial backing come from non-Black communities. So a lot of people are excited and want to see that. They just don't know it exists. And I think that it is our responsibility, our social responsibility, our collective responsibility to like, share, and subscribe one another's content so that we can experience these things on a regular and it won't be an anomaly. And I was going to say the one thing I was shocked about is I didn't know that Pittsburgh was only 8% Black.
Me neither.
Yeah. Small but mighty group of us here for sure, right? So
Look, she talked about I hadn't seen the website yet. I had to go look since you're misrepresenting me. I literally had it on the screen. That's how you saw the other one, because it was the website. That's how dope it is. You didn't even know where you were. Woman.
Terrible.
Right. This is horrible. Okay. So here we go. We got one more question for you.
How do you envision the future of Black Burgh Love, and what are some upcoming projects or goals that you're excited about in continuing to address the underrepresentation of Black love in the city?
Yeah, this is one I'm excited about because me and my wife, we've started to identify just some of our events that we want to do for 2024. We were blessed towards the middle of 2023 to actually have our first child together. We had already have an amazing son in our son Judah, but also we just had our baby boy Rain in June. So we had been working prior to him being born on a lot of, events, but we didn't want to, overwhelm ourselves with having a newborn and also, doing a lot of the events that we were trying to put together. So something we've been working on for 2024 that I think will be very impactful for what we're looking to do moving forward in the future is we're looking to put together a conference. So with that conference, it's just going to be specific to anything that could be a part of not just Black love, but things that could be supportive of a Black relationship as a whole. So we're going to be bringing in people, for example, that might be someone you could go to if you need help with like Black mental health. But we also are going to bring in people with telling you how you get your credit right and how you do things with taxes or whatever the case might be. There's just going to be different little workshops that you'll have a chance to go to where if you don't have a church home, for example, you can find you a church home. So there's just going to be a lot of different resources that we want to provide to people to be able to really ignite some of the things that I think we don't discuss a lot, right? And I think that's resources. I think sometimes when we find great resources, sometimes people are just kind of hesitant to always kind of let their friends or even family members sometimes know about what may be out there. How did you get your credit right? How did you have the ability to get a new car, right? So we want to really share those resources so people, with a lot of the stress that comes in any relationship, Black or white or any other nationality, right? We want you to be able to have those resources that ultimately you can lean on through our Black Burgh Love experience. So that's one thing we're working on. The big one, though, that I really am excited about, one of my brothers has given me this idea in 2024. I'm going to move forward with it. So we want to put together an event called Chemistry. So with Chemistry, it's going to be a very unique event because what we're envisioning is that most people, when they go out and they're like trying to do like blind dating or speed dating, it's very basic, right? It's like you sit at a table, you meet with someone for a few seconds, a bell rings, and then you're off to like the next person, something of the sorts. With Chemistry, it's going to be completely different. So with Chemistry, what we're actually going to do is we're going to have different stations that are going to be set up at the event. So with Chemistry, you might start off at an event that's just based around like music. So you might be at like an event where there's poetry for another station, or you might go to another station where it's creating your own signature drink, right? Together. So we're looking to see when we put you in these different types of environments, what truly makes up someone having chemistry, because sometimes it could be their taste in food, music, faith, whatever it is, right? There's different things that attract people, but I think sometimes it's hard really getting to that and realizing if you have that instant chemistry or can have chemistry even with someone if you're not in those settings and experience that. So we want to try something that's really different with that. And he gave me that idea a while ago. My boy, Brandon Parker, he's my boy. So that's one thing outside of the workshop that I'm excited to try to make sure that we have that take place in 2024. But also, too, our Look at Love series will be coming back. This time, we're going to do it a little different. We're going to be bringing in older couples. So we did like couples that were in like their 20s, their 30s for that first series. For this next one, it's going to be people in like their 50s, 60s, 70s, because we want to give them a little bit more of here's what you do to stay in love, right? Here's not what we did to walk in love, but here's what we did to stay in love, right? So that's going to give a whole different, kind of perspective. But the last one I want to share that I'm really excited about that someone gave me that was at our Blackbird King shoot is that we want to do a shoot where essentially it kind of shows like people where they started and then where they're kind of at now. So for example, someone like me, we might shoot a picture of you in Lincoln at a football field where you used to play Pee Wee football, but then we would go down to Savannah, Georgia to our main campus and shoot a picture there for you now as the director of training, right? So something like that, just to kind of see that positive impact, right? I think sometimes we see the end product, but we don't really see where they started. So what we plan on doing is showing both that end and that start, but in the middle, we're going to share video and we're going to have that person talk about their testimony about how they were able to get into the positions they were. So we don't have a name for that one yet, but that's also going to be one that we're a little bit excited to bring to people also in 2024.
So let me tell you, I love everything. So what I'm doing now is sharing some information with you. We got a good friend down here. Like his name is Valden Johnson, and he's known as a professional matchmaker. And he deals with high value males. This is before the Kevin Samuel thing, but he has always done with high value men, meaning men who don't, like, for instance, don't have children, never been married, don't have a criminal record, just making significant money and all of that. And I just think it's great for you guys to connect, not for necessarily that event, but I just think that it's a great person.
Yeah,
just
for sure.
You to get to know. And a lot of people didn't know that Ahmed has music. He's actually a national recording artist. He's from Egypt, but he now lives here. And he has some music. So I'm sharing that with you. And also there's another organization, just how we love is a parable. Y'all got Blackbird Love. There's another organization called Just Choose Love. And that's another one of our good friends, Samantha Thomas. She owns that. And I just think it'd be great businesses for you to get to know, connect with, and look up. But anybody who's an earshot, make sure you go to blackbirdlove.com. Make sure you follow them on all social media platforms, Blackbird Love, so you can stay connected and stay engaged, but also show them that even though we may not be in Pittsburgh with the useless H, we can still support them.
That absolutely, definitely.
I ain't gonna tell you how bad that H bothers me.
Man, useless H,
bro. That H bothered me so long. I went on a rabbit hole researching why is a H in Pittsburgh.
I don't even know why there is an H. To be honest,
I can tell you why. Somebody made a mistake and put an H on it, and they just kept it to identify the post office. It was the post office that did it.
Oh wow.
I did not know that. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
You know what? We'll keep it because it's in everything now. Just upset me. I say, I know it ain't no H in Pittsburgh, and it's just sitting there. H since the early 1900s.
Just sitting there hijacking the word, just right on the back of it.
Just messing with people. Pittsburgh.
Hey, you know, that's what I thought. I thought they did it for that. Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
That is hilarious.
Got in my head, bro.
Just gave us that, but no, man. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, bro. We really do appreciate you. In any way that we can support anybody in our Love is a Parable family. It's funny, we call us family, but we call those who truly support us advocates, love advocates. So anybody that we have in any way we can help make BBL, any way we can make BBL a success, call on us to lift you up. Booyah to do stoosh.
Booyah. No, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all too, Jay, and also Cordell for having me here tonight, because honestly, I told you this, Jay. I've always loved, everything about you as a person from the first day I met you. You just have a contagious energy that it really speaks life into people. And I don't even know if you get enough of your flowers on a day-to-day basis with how impactful you are right now. So I do want to speak to you and Cordell, with what you're doing here with this platform, with your podcast, to say, keep going, man, because anybody who would see this, and have a crappy day or even a great day, any type of day, the things that you all talk about, and the things that you all share with what you're doing day in and day out, it's what we need. It's food for the soul. And I think that, people like both of you just deserve so much, kudos to what you're doing in and day out by giving a safe space like this for people to feel welcome and be able to grow together. So I just want to thank you all for having me here tonight. I really appreciate it.
No
we
problem.
Appreciate you, bro. Man, chemistry. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No, just going to let you know she's a professional rapper. And TJ Thomas came on and he said, facts.
That's my bro. What up, TJ?
Yeah.
But what you about to say, bro?
I was going to say, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all put together with that chemistry event. Bro, I might just find myself in Pittsburgh for that, bro. Even the
already
names,
in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna come up in there.
Bro, the name sounds sophisticated. No, we're not. It's not speed dating. This isn't networking. This is events called chemistry. That just gives high class, upper echelon right there already.
Right. My next wife might be in the useless H.
Hey, you know.
In that little 8%. In that 8%. But no, man, as much as I hate for this show to end, I definitely want to make sure that everybody understand. Spoon, stay on for a minute. But everybody else, if this is your first time watching the show, thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you should go support Black Burgh Love. If you want to find a little bit more about our organization, visit loveisaparable.com. We'll love to partner, collaborate, or whatever needed. But also, most importantly, if you feel that nobody in this world cares about you or love you, you just met 3 people that do. So know that we love you and we appreciate y'all. And we will see y'all. We don't even know what other day we're going to be back, but we will.
It's going to be a surprise.
Right.
Surprise.
Booyah, because our show's on fleek. All right. Love you guys.